Gina never used to wear perfume to the grocery store. Now she smells like citrus, and sin just to grab almond milk. That's when I started paying attention. 7 years married. That's what they say is the itch, right? I always figured if we made it past 5 without killing each other, we were solid. And for the most part, we were. Me and Gina had our share of dust-ups, but we always made it back to the dinner table. She'd roll her eyes, I'd pour her a glass of wine, and we'd settle back into our rhythm like nothing happened. That was our way. Gina was never boring. She was wild, mouthy, too quick with a comeback, but hell if that didn't keep things interesting. The kind of woman who could start a fight in the car and make you miss her by the time you got to the front porch. That's the thing about her, she had a way of turning things around. Sometimes I think that's what made me fall for her in the first place. That and the fact that when she laughed, you felt it in your chest. But things started feeling different. It didn't smack me in the face. Wasn't like I walked in on her and some dude. No, it came in slow. The quiet kind of wrong. Like when your truck's making a sound you can't place, and you keep telling yourself it's nothing, until the engine drops out on I-40 and leaves you stranded in the rain. It started when she got this job at a boutique downtown. Linen and lace. Some frilly little place that sells overpriced lotion and wicker baskets that don't hold a damn thing. She hadn't worked in over a year, said she wanted to find herself again. I said sure, go for it. Figured it might help her get out of that funk she'd been in. She was excited. Giddy even. Woke up early, did her hair, picked out outfits like she was heading to prom. I was happy to see her smile again, don't get me wrong. But there was something off about the way she glowed. Wasn't for me. Wasn't from me. That kind of light don't come from inside, it comes from attention. She stopped talking about her day. First couple weeks she came home jabbering about her manager, customers, whatever. Then nothing. Just said she was tired. Took her dinner into the living room, scrolled through her phone all night like I wasn't there. That phone, she used to leave it anywhere. Now it's always on her. Locked tight. Face down every time she sets it down, if she sets it down at all. The screen used to light up with texts from her sister, her friends, the usual. Lately? Nothing I can see. Just the way she pulls it away when I walk by, like I'm gonna read it out loud. Then there's the perfume. Gina's always been a little country with her style. Never cared much for makeup or fancy smells unless we were going out. But now she's dolled up to run to the damn post office. Where's this citrusy scent that don't smell anything like the bottle on her dresser? I asked her about it once. She said one of the girls at work gave her a sample. I said, huh? And that was that. Didn't press. Didn't accuse. Just took that little scrap and folded it into the growing pile in the back of my mind. One day she told me she was picking up a shift for a coworker named Jess. Said she'd be late, probably close to closing. I nodded. Told her I'd heat up leftovers. She kissed me like we were just roommates, and walked out the door in a black top I'd never seen before. Still had a damn price tag hanging out the side. I didn't say a word. That night she came home smelling like wine and someone else's cologne. Said a customer knocked over a sample bottle. I said huh again. She didn't even look up from her phone. Another time, she said she was going to Target with a friend. Forgot which one, said it too fast. Didn't matter. I went out to her car later to grab a hoodie I'd left. In the back seat, I found a shopping bag, not from Target, but from a store at the outlet mall 2 towns over. No receipt, just a bag and a pair of earrings she's never worn around me. I ain't the jealous type. Never have been. I believe people should have their own space, their own life. But there's a line between independent and secretive, and Gina was starting to cross it like it wasn't even there. The worst part? She started being nice. Now I know how that sounds, but you gotta understand, Gina's version of nice ain't the norm. She's all sass and sarcasm, and that's what I loved about her. But lately, she's been acting sweet. Real sweet. Like she's trying to keep me docile. Rubs my shoulders. Makes dinner 2 nights in a row. Calls me Han, like we're in some Hallmark movie. She even bought me a new flannel shirt for no reason. Thing is, when Gina gets nice for no reason, it ain't out of love. It's out of guilt. I can feel something twisting under the floorboards of our life, and every day I step on 'em, they creak louder. But I ain't dumb. And I sure as hell ain't confrontin' a woman like Gina without a damn bulletproof vest made of truth. So I've been watchin'. Real close. Letting her think she's still pulling the wool over my eyes. Because sooner or later the cracks are gonna split wide open. And when they do, I won't just be ready. I'll be the one holding the match. Gina started humming again. She'd do it while folding laundry, or doing her makeup before work, little songs with no words, just soft sounds under her breath. I hadn't heard her do that in a long time. It used to mean she was in a good mood, now it felt like a tell. Like when a poker player starts tapping their fingers on the table just before they bluff. She also started using pet names again, babe, Han, sweetheart. At first I thought maybe we were on the upswing. People get distant sometimes, fall into ruts. But it didn't feel like we were growing back together. It felt like she was trying to keep me soft, distracted. The way you talk to a dog while you hide the leash behind your back. I didn't say a damn thing. Just smiled. Kissed her forehead and played the part. The lies kept coming, wrapped in charm, neat as a bow. Little inconsistencies that'd slide right past a man who didn't know his wife like I knew mine. Like the night she came home in a different hoodie than the one she left in. Swore up and down it was the same one. You must be remembering wrong, she said with that sweet, sugary tone. She always gets nicer when she's full of shit. Then there was the wine night. She said she was going over to a friend's place, couple of the girls from the shop. Said they were doing some sort of paint and sip thing, wine and canvases and girl talk. I said, have fun. Handed her a bottle of Cab I knew she liked, and watched her drive off in that little black car she used to hate but suddenly started keeping spotless. She came back around 11. Walked in with a quiet kind of energy. Clothes not messy, hair still perfect, makeup barely smudged. But she smelled like hotel soap. That scent you don't forget once you've lived in cheap motels on road crews. It wasn't the paint. It wasn't the wine. It was that fake, lemony hotel soap that leaves your skin feeling dry and clean in all the wrong ways. I asked her if they stayed out late. She said yeah, lost track of time. The wine hit harder than she thought. Said she needed a shower and disappeared down the hall without looking back. I sat there staring at the bottle I gave her, still on the counter, unopened. I didn't follow her. I didn't ask anything else. I just filed it. That was the night I started sleeping with one eye open. And then, there was the business card. Showed up in the dryer, like it fell out of her jeans. Black, with silver lettering. T. Howard, personal training, massage therapy. Not from our town. A city over. I turned it over in my hand. Blank on the back. No appointment time, no note. Just the card. I left it right where I found it, on the dryer, half buried in socks. Next morning, it was gone. She didn't say a word. Now, maybe some men would have lost it by now. Slammed a door, flipped a table, demanded answers. But that's not how I operate. I don't charge through the front door. I circle the house. I check every window. I wait until I know everything inside's exactly where I need it. I started laying groundwork. Told her I might be going out of town for a job. Said a crew upstate needed a foreman for a 2-week contract. She nodded too fast. Didn't ask a single question about where, or when, or why. Just smiled and said, "Do what's best for you, babe." She wanted me gone. That's when I knew I needed more than suspicion. I needed proof. I didn't want to spy, not at first. But she kept walking that line, just far enough from honesty that I couldn't grab her by it. So I did what any man would do when he's too proud to ask and too smart to guess. I watched. Nothing dramatic. No binoculars or hired PIs. Just quiet observation. Routines. Patterns. Stories that didn't line up. I started leaving my truck parked a few blocks over when I got off early, walked home without her noticing. Watched her leave again 20 minutes later in comfy clothes, like she was going to the store. Came back 2 hours later with no bags and smelling like sweat and mints. I checked the car the next morning, not inside, just a quick look. Passenger seat was moved back. Someone taller than her had been riding shotgun. I told her she should clean her windows. She laughed and said, "Maybe you should do it, Mr. Mechanic." We laughed together. It's funny. The more she lied, the more effort she put into being sweet. Like she was keeping a toddler distracted with candy while she slipped out the back door. She made my favorite stew one night. Turned the music up loud, pulled me into the kitchen to dance. And for a minute, I let myself pretend we were okay. But the second I looked away, her smile dropped. Just for a second. Like her face forgot what it was supposed to be doing. That's when I stopped pretending. She was seeing someone. I didn't know who. Not yet. But I knew enough to know it wasn't just in my head. So I gave her what she wanted. I told her I'd taken the job. Said I'd be gone the following weekend, 2 nights, maybe 3. Out by the river, no reception. She kissed me like she was proud of me. And then she smiled, the kind of smile a woman gives when she thinks she's finally in the clear. But she wasn't. I didn't pack a bag. I didn't leave town. I waited. Just long enough. Because I wasn't just looking for proof anymore. I was planning the reveal. The kind she wouldn't crawl out of. I left, early Friday morning. Gave her a kiss on the cheek and a travel mug of coffee like any loving husband would. She stood in the doorway in her robe, makeup already on, hair curled just enough to look casual. I could see it in her face, relief. She thought the stage was finally hers. No more sneaking around. No more pretending. I drove 2 streets over and parked behind an abandoned mechanic's shop. Left my truck tucked behind a dumpster, and walked the long way home through the backfield. Slipped in through the garage, real quiet, and posted up in the attic. Brought a sleeping bag, beef jerky, water, and a burner phone. I was ready for the long haul. Gina left around noon. Didn't notice the light in the attic was rigged to an old extension cord I ran down the wall to the shed. Didn't know I had a camera pointing right at the driveway. I watched her pull out, laughing on the phone with someone, windows down, sunglasses on, singing along to a song like she hadn't been lying to her husband for months. Like she wasn't about to burn down everything we built. She was gone for 6 hours. Came back in a different outfit. Hair down now. Makeup smudged just a touch. She walked in like a woman who just won something. I watched her toss her bag on the couch and head to the kitchen. She poured herself a glass of wine and sat there on her phone for a while, smiling. Then she called him. I couldn't hear the words. But I saw the name light up on the burner phone I'd synced to her cloud account 2 weeks prior. T. Howard. I'd seen the name once before, on that business card I found in the dryer. And now I had him. Saturday morning, she left again. This time in gym clothes. That same red sports bra she swore she'd thrown out. She didn't go to the gym. She went to a little cabin-style Airbnb about 30 minutes outside of town. How do I know? Because I booked it 6 days ago. Fake name. Prepaid card. One camera hidden in a smoke detector. Another clipped into the corner of the front porch light. No audio. I didn't need it. Just motion capture and timestamps. And boy, did they give me motion. She walked in first. He followed 5 minutes later. Taller than me, lean, one of those pretty boy types with veins on his biceps and a jawline like a soap opera actor. Coach, massage therapist, whatever he was, he didn't knock. Just walked in like it was routine. They stayed there 3 hours. At some point, she texted me. Hope work's going okay. Miss you. I stared at that message until the screen dimmed. Then I turned my phone off and smiled. That night, I printed the photos. Nothing X-rated. Just enough. The timestamp of her car pulling in. Him following. Her opening the door. Him kissing her neck. her pulling him inside. Boom. 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 Evidence. Plain and simple. I didn't confront her that night. I came back home before she did, snuck back out to the truck, rumbled into the driveway around 10. She came in minutes later, hair pulled into a messy bun, leggings still on, flushed like she'd just run laps. "How was the trip?" she asked. "Quiet," I said. "Good to get away." She kissed me. Told me she missed me. Asked if I wanted to watch a movie. I said sure. I held her hand through the whole thing. Next morning was Sunday. Family brunch at her parents' place. I offered to drive. She wore a yellow sundress I used to love, probably thinking it'd distract me. We pulled into the driveway. Her parents were already outside, waving. I stepped out, gave them a nod, and opened the trunk. She looked confused. "Brought something for everyone," I said. I handed her dad a manila envelope. Told him to open it. He looked inside. Then back at me. Then at her. She was already pale. Her mom opened another envelope. Her sister looked inside hers. All photos. Same ones? I looked at Gina, dead in the eye, and said, "You remember that Airbnb you were at yesterday?" "I do. I paid for it." She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. I kept going. "T. Howard, right? That's his name? Coach T? He's got a real strong grip. Probably helpful with massage therapy or whatever he calls it." Still nothing. Just wide eyes and shaking hands. Her dad asked me what the hell was going on. Her mom started crying. Gina started talking too fast, saying it was a mistake, she didn't mean to, that it didn't mean anything. I let her talk. I stood there, arms crossed, letting her spin herself right off the ledge. When she finally paused to breathe, I said, "You didn't mean to? Funny. You meant it enough to do it twice last week. You meant it enough to lie to my face with his sweat still on your skin." Then I handed her the last envelope. Inside was a copy of the signed lease. Not ours. Mine. For the new place I signed on Friday. Small place. 1 bedroom. Doesn't need much when you're starting over. "And this," I said, pulling a folded paper from my pocket, "is a lawyer's card. I already called him. Just needed to get through today." Her sister tried to pull her mom inside. Her dad told Gina not to follow. I didn't look back as I got in the truck. Didn't need to. Some things don't deserve a second glance. That's how it ends. Not with yelling. Not with violence. Just silence, truth, and a clean break. She thought she'd won. But I made sure I was the one holding the match when the whole thing went up in flames.